And have an idea of just, that will eliminate these year over year over year. Every year we have 2 or 3 bonding questions.
Yeah, we have 2 or 3 bonding questions, and what happens if you got 4 questions, 2 get defeated.
And what?
And then excuse me, Charlie, and what happens is that then those 2 trucks, or 3 trucks, or whatever you had in there, that you badly needed because we didn't plan for them, and now they're really in bad shape because we can't buy them for another year until we come before the voters again.
And I know what you said with the bond, you know, if we were able to get this into place. You know, this is not a bond where you have this pile of cash and, you know, somebody needs a toy and they go get a toy. This bond would be very specific for capital equipment, for things that are needed. And we would have a history of what we've had to or should have bought in the past 5, maybe 10 years. I mean, it's easy to tell when a dump truck's going to wear out. It's easy to tell, you know, when a building's going to need something. Or when you want to do something new, you want to pave, you want to build something. You'll be able to know that for historically or prioritize in a plan. This is not going to be a little treasure chest where, you know, I need to paint my car or something like that. That's not what this is for at all. This is for specific capital expenditures.
And Tay, if I can add to that too, I think a couple things, taking note that what we did to pass this year's budget on the Board of Selectmen side, which I had tremendous reservations about, and I said that on the record, was that even though we're coming in at 0%, we basically were deferring costs. We were deferring expenses, never mind the fact that we were going to not allow raises for our employees, which is another whole morale issue. But by deferring these costs, all we're doing is putting off till tomorrow what we need to do today. So I support Joe's plan. And I think the other thing to look at is, and you mentioned a little earlier, Jim, is that they think that Republicans, like, they want to pave the planet. Like, you know, when I was on P&Z, they were like, when we talk, anytime you tried to talk about economic development, it was like right away you were against the environment. And I'm all about plans. And I've said this all along. I mean, the coastal plan, I like the coastal plan. But what I have a problem with the plans, and I said this at the coastal meeting, and I've been saying this, is that you have a plan, you have a coastal plan, you have an economic development plan, you have various different land use plans, you have the Board of Ed that has their own set of plans. We need to get all this together and to prioritize. In the back of the economic development, some of the land use plans is what we call their future goals. There's no monetary items attached to them, or there's no priority of them. And a lot of them would involve rezoning. A lot of them are good, taking areas of the town and putting some different zoning in to maintain the character. Again, I'm all for this. This is what maintains the integrity of our town and the integrity of what we're doing. It also maintains the open space. We do have issues with coastal, with the land, you know, pervading into the ocean and things into the sound. So we do have to protect things there, and we do have to look at that kind of stuff. But that's what you do by getting all these folks in a room, by putting all these plans together, by starting to prioritize the needs of the towns, and you have to consider facilities. There's no long-range facilities plan, henceforth why we're struggling with the high school. So, I mean, by putting all this together, and at that point you say, okay, you know, we want open space. Why? You know, just because we like open space, or what? You know, what are the reasons behind it? You know, conservation reasons are very important, but you know, you have to tie those into some of the other reasons. And you start looking at all these different things, and then we as a community can decide collectively what is important to us and what Guilford is, what it means to us as a community, and where we want to go with all of this stuff. And it starts with people talking to each other. Recently, I know they're having the meetings about the coastal plan. They're starting to do the zoning. They did the plan, now they're doing the zoning. Love it, okay? But right away, there's all this frustration from folks, and who's saying what? I'm getting emails back and forth with a lot of misinformation and miscommunication. And right away, I'm like, you know what? It should fall upon the leaders of that Planning and Zoning Commission to make sure that they're properly advising the community of what we're doing, but it also needs to come from the First Selectman's office, and it's not either. So there's a lot of misinformation of folks that are saying, Cindy, please tell people that we need this zoning. It's going to protect the integrity of the coastal. And it's not that we're trying to, you know, make people that they can't build houses or that they can't improve their homes. But there's this right now, and it doesn't have to be there. We all want the same thing, I think, at the end, which is to protect the town and do the best we can do. How we get there is what we need to work on.
And I think, Jim, to sum all this up, what we're trying to do is to not only maintain the quality of life that we all enjoy in this town, but to improve it within our means.
True.
I can't say it any plainer than
Can't
that.
say it any better than that.
That's perfect.
Right?
That's exactly.
I think, Joe, that's an excellent point, but before we sign off for the evening, I do have one question. I have heard...
There's always that one question.
No, this should be an easy one.
Okay.
I've heard in many various quarters, everybody said to me, Well, what is Joe going to do with Mazur Associates, and is Joe going to be a full-time first selectman? Why don't you please tell the viewing audience, are you going to be a full-time first
Absolutely.
selectman?
I'm not it's as much energy I have, I'm not a Superman. I can't be doing two jobs. There's only one job that I will do after the first Monday of December, and that is that of first selectman. As far as my practice goes, it will be managed and taken over by hopefully a CPA or an accountant or an EA. I haven't settled on the individual yet, but I would have nothing to do with it other than own it. Boy, it's going to be a nice relief from not doing tax returns for a while.
Okay, I
So
think
does that answer your question?
it does,
Okay,
and I
thank
just
you.
wanted to get that out there.
Okay.
I think with that, we'll end this segment. I'd like to thank Cynthia Cartier, Charles Havener, and Joe Mazza. We'll be back again, and I would remind the public to please come out and vote for all of our candidates on November 3rd. And I would also, if you have any questions or concerns, need more information about our candidates, feel free to visit us at www.mazza09.com. I thank you, and I thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.